Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Aniket and today we will be discussing the problem from LeetCode Biweekly 183 contest. Question number 1, minimum swaps to move zeros to end. First read the question. You are given an integer array nums. In one operation you can choose any two distinct indices I and j and swap nums I and nums j. Return an integer denoting the minimum number of operations required to move all zeros to the end of the array. So you should return the minimum number of operations that you require to move all zeros to the end of the array. So if you move all zeros to the end of the array, what is the resulting array? Here the number of zeros is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The number of zeros is 5. So last 5 indices should contain zeros only. So we don't care of the remaining elements. Let's say the number of zeros is 5 and I will denote it by z. So the remaining element is n minus z. So we only care about the last z elements only. So if you carefully compare the last z element with the last z element of the nums array, then you find that you need to swap only 3 indices. How you can find that? Because if you compare this 0 to 3, 0 is not is equal to 3, so you need to swap 3 with other 0 where the 0 present. Let's say you swap 3 with 0. Note here the swap is not adjacent, it can be any kind where the indices are not same. Here the indices are not same, so you can swap easily and the number of operation will count increase by 1. And here will if you compare this 0 with this 0, so here you don't need to be swap with another 0 because it is already 0. Why you want to increase your operations? You should return minimum number of operations. So you need not to be swap in this case. And in this case 4 is not is equal to 0, so you need to swap 4 with other 0. Let's say you swap 4 with this 0. In this case 0 is not need to be swapped with another 0, so it is safe. And in this case 9 should be swapped with other 0. And here this 0 is not used, other 0 is that 0. This 0 is used to swap with 9 and the 9 will result into 0. So finally last z element will contain 0 and the number of swaps is the elements that are not already 0 at the last z elements. So you should return the number of elements which are not equal to 0 at last z indices. How you count z? That is a normal thing. You already know how to count a number of zeros. So if you traverse the array and where the element is 0, you simply count plus plus. Count will store the number of zeros in the array. How many zeros are present in the array will be stored in this variable count, and you finally initialize your operation variable as 0 and process last count indices. And if you found any non-zero element, then you simply increment your operation by 1, and after all processing of last count indices, you only return the your operation as your answer. I hope you understand my code. Please like, share and subscribe.